Okay, how do we apply a kettlebell to the lunge pattern? Plenty of different ways. The suitcase carry. Long stride back, down and up. That's pretty simple, but I do have some lateral loading. So if I wanted to make it easier, what I would do is I would go half as much weight per kettlebell, 2 kettlebells, 1 in each hand, same thing. And now I made it easier because I'm more balanced, okay? You will also notice that keeping the suitcase on the leg that's out front is easier than the suitcase in the arm of the leg that goes in the back. So you can progress by going to very light kettlebells, practicing that way. Then you could take both kettlebells, put them in one hand on the planted front leg, train that way, and then later on you could switch and load up the moving leg and progress it that way. So there's always ways that you can make these harder. Suitcase and farmer's carry. Okay, suitcase is 1 arm, farmer's carry is 2. If I'm lunging, I'm oftentimes going to be lunging in the rack, especially from, so I might do a kettlebell clean, come back, down and up. And oftentimes this will translate into a lunge thruster where I'm using those legs to pop the weight up. It might also turn into what we call a split jerk, which is pretty advanced, where I'm popping the weight up and then lunging underneath it. And then I'm going to just complete the movement down to the ground and back up again, even though I was already locked out. Here, I just complete the movement. So remember, just like with the squat and every other exercise, the higher you're holding that kettlebell, the harder the exercise is going to be and the lighter you're going to want to go. We've got our rack. You can also, of course, goblet in any way and perform your lunges like that. I would also, and this is what you'll learn with the Turkish get up, just come from locked out and up. So a little different than the thruster, where you're using the lunge to power it. With the overhead lunge, what you're doing is you're moving under the weight with an overhead fixation, okay? So kettlebell lunge and some different variations. Let's talk about it really fast. Lunges are phenomenal, and I would say underrated, really good for balancing your body left and right. Unilateral, one leg doing one thing, the other one doing the other. You can make lunges more difficult, of course, with a kettlebell. Heavier, more volume, different positions that you want to hold it in. There's some other things that I'm going to do, maybe in conjunction with a kettlebell, which could be lifting up my back foot or front. To be honest with you, it really doesn't make any difference. It really doesn't matter. Because either way, you're going to be able to come down deeper with your back knee. So whereas the ground stops me here, if I have a little step, I can drop that back knee down even further, like this. Okay? Now this leg can end up in a greater degree, or this hip, in a greater degree of extension, lengthening out my quads and hip flexors more. And also this hip, but front leg, ends up lower than my knee in the front, which then starts to get into the glute more of the front leg, okay? So when we get deeper, we're getting more into the hip flexors, lengthening those muscles out further, and we're getting the glute to activate more. So coming up, that little bit of extra depth will have that benefit. If you have really good range of motion, you'll be able to utilize that. If you're tight, it may not work. One more thing I'm going to add to this to give you some adjustment on the fly. If you lean forward, but you keep your posture neutral, so you're in good form, but you're leaning forward, Now you're going to get deeper into the glute. If you stay upright, both of them are correct as far as form is concerned, but the more upright you become, the less glute, the more hip flexor and quad of the back leg you're going to be hitting, okay? So just keep that in mind. When I say hitting, I'm not just talking about getting them to activate, but also lengthening those muscles out. So that can be a really cool exercise. I will say you're going to be more sore from doing a deficit lunge like this than you think you will. So in your first day practicing these, don't get too crazy, because that lengthening really can make your muscles feel sore the next day. So take it in a small dose, reassess, come back to fight another day. I'll see you in the next video.